Everybody, welcome back to the Matthew Moore podcast once again for another week. Hope you're all doing well out there. If you're listening to us here on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below and also hit the post notification bell to get notified every time there's a video or a podcast here on this channel. And most importantly, don't forget to drop a like on this video as well. But anyway, yes, we're back for another podcast. This week, I'm on my own. I was supposed to record this podcast last night, which it being Wednesday. This podcast being recorded on Thursday morning. But due to the fact that Liverpool qualified for the quarterfinals of the Champions League last night, I got on to a lot of phone calls last night and a little bit of celebration going on as Liverpool went away from Munich last night with a fantastic performance. And by the time I got off the phone with my friends locally and also talking to my friends who are actually at the game in Germany, I realised it was a little bit late, so I decided to take myself off to bed and record the podcast this morning instead. So, I'm back. This week I'm on my own. I've got a few things I want to talk about on the podcast this week. Some good things, some bad things. I want to talk about our recent trip to Liverpool last weekend where Liz and I travelled over there. And also some things that have been happening in my life this week itself. Also, I'm going to be answering some of your emails as well. And talking about some of you guys, some of your questions and stuff via social media too as well. So anyway, let's get straight into it. What a week it's been since the last time I spoke to you guys. I've been away to Liverpool with Lewis. I've had a few trips to Belfast. I've had my Instagram account hacked by trolls. Yeah, that's right, you got it there. I've got a daughter who's obsessed with this Brexit thing going on here, with in relation to politics here in the United Kingdom. And also we've had horrendous weather as well here in Northern Ireland and also in England too as well. So, let's get right into it, guys. From last week I spoke to you. Let's talk about the vlogs itself. We've had a couple of interesting vlogs this week. We've had World Book Day, where Lewis took me shopping last week for outfits for World Book Day. We've also had Match Day vlogs from Anfield, and also we've had torrential weather also too. Plus, on top away from the vlogs itself, guys, I actually forgot to mention that Lewis and I actually got food poisoning as well on our trip. But the vlogs itself has been interesting this week, guys, especially the one that we did last night with the Liverpool versus Bayern Munich live reaction video. But if you haven't checked out any of the vlogs this week, guys, please go ahead. I encourage you here on this channel to go back and check out some of the vlogs from this week. But they've been actually quite interesting, so they have. But let's talk about our trip to Liverpool this past week. Lewis and I, we off this past Saturday night. Lewis and I went on to the ferry to Liverpool. Had a great trip over. Lewis was busting to get on the ferry to get over to Liverpool. He hasn't been there since last August, whenever I took him to the Liverpool versus West Ham game on the opening day of the season. Felt a little guilty though going to the games without him, because at times you only get one ticket. And then when I did get 2 tickets for the Leicester game in January, I think it was, in January, I was made aware before I booked travel for that the tickets weren't going to be together, hence why I booked it with my brother Tony. But then when I got the tickets were together. So Lewis was a little bit disappointed that he never made it to the game that time. But he did go with me this past weekend and he had an absolute ball. We went over on the ferry on Saturday night. The thing about Lewis is Lewis loves going to Liverpool by the ferry. I'm sure you probably saw on the vlogs, guys, if you're a regular viewer. Lewis, I prefer to fly mostly, but Lewis prefers to go on the actual ferry itself because he just loves the cabins. He's got to know some of the staff. Obviously, I've noticed some of the staff as well, obviously travelling back and forward all the time on the ferry. But Lewis just loves travelling to Liverpool. He loves the city. He loves the people. He loves the club. He loves going to the ground. He just loves being over there. And he did say to me, Dad, someday I'd love us to live in Liverpool. But he loves it. Saying that, we arrived on Sunday morning. Took him to Witherspoon's there at the bank buildings right beside Lime Street train station. For his breakfast, he had his pancakes that he loves. He loves pancakes for breakfast. Took him to there, got our bags checked into the lock-in port at Lime Street Station. Went down to town, travelled to Anfield. Then when we got to Anfield, he had an absolute ball. He got himself a retro shirt back from the 86 FA Cup final jersey with the crown paints and stuff on it. If you saw the video from last night where he done the live reaction with me, you saw him wearing that jersey last night. He loves it, so he does. That goes alongside his old 1990 Liverpool jersey, his one with candy on the front, which he wants to wear at the Legends game, which we're going back to Liverpool next week. More on that later on. But yeah, he had an absolute ball. He enjoyed the game. We were right at the top of the Cop with the hardcore Liverpool fans, which was brilliant. It's the first time I've actually been up that high in the Cop. And Lewis was, it was so funny. There was a lot of them actually around him, and they were getting him to sing songs, and he was singing away. And then at one point, he was starting to start off songs himself. He got 2 songs started himself with a group of people. Then obviously the people latched on to it, and he was so proud of himself. He was singing away, and he was having an absolute ball. Liverpool won the game 4-2. Bit of a squeaky bum time towards the end. Liverpool went 3-1 up, and then Burnley scored to make it 3-2. Then Liverpool scored right again at the end, where Sadio Mane got a late goal, and Liverpool won 4-2. After the game, he met Paul from Redmen TV. He was looking. He had a beeline. He saw Paul standing at the bottom of the Cop doing his thing for Redmen TV, the TV channel on YouTube, and he made a point to run down the steps to get to see Paul. I told him to be careful because during the game it was like 4 seasons. One minute it was sleet and snow, one minute it was raining, it was sunny, it was unbelievable. So I didn't want him slipping on the steps. But he made a beeline to run down them steps and get up to see Paul, and he met Paul, and he was over the moon. Then he went out the back to see the Redmen TV being filmed at the back of the Cop, which he was all happy to see. And then we proceeded to head back into town again itself. But here's the thing, guys. Now this is the thing that annoyed me. Lewis and I were in town after the game, and we were going around some of the shops and stuff. Now, the shops in Liverpool are only open from 11 till 5 on a Sunday. Like over here in Northern Ireland, it's 1 to 6. Over there, it's 11 to 5. So we went around a couple of stores and stuff. I went in for a coffee into John Lewis because I had a few issues with the upload of the Match Day vlog, so I went in there to try and fix it. So we decided, right, we're going to go for some dinner before we go, a couple of hours before we have to go back to the ferry dock. So Lewis and I decided where we want to go for dinner. Well, didn't decide together, but sort of had a bit of a debate because Lewis wanted to go to Pizza Hut. But to be quite honest with you, I can be barred going to Pizza Hut because Pizza Hut, I'm getting sick and tired of looking at Pizza Hut. The reason why I'm getting sick and tired of Pizza Hut is because every time we go to the Belfast Giants games, there's a Pizza Hut facility in the SSE Arena area, and Lewis wants to go there all the time, and to be quite honest with you, it gets a little bit sickening after a while. So I asked Lewis to change his mind. I offered him all different places like TGI Fridays, offered him Chinese food. I'm sure you probably saw in the vlog the night before we went for a Chinese feed. The night we went over on the ferry, we went to the wee place at Yorkgate in Belfast. If you're ever in Belfast, guys, check out that Chinese restaurant in Belfast at Yorkgate. It's unbelievable. The food is awesome. I had a steak, I had chicken, I had I just had everything. It was unbelievable. But anyway, back to the story. We decided to go. Well, Lewis more likely decided to go on. He still wanted pizza. He was pursuing me to get pizza. He wanted pizza, so I thought, okay, we'll try this place, Pizza Express, which is in Liverpool 1. But I've seen Pizza Express before in Belfast. So I have. Now, I have one in Victoria Square in Belfast. Now, everybody out there listening to this podcast has ever tried Pizza Express. We haven't. So I thought, okay, we'll give it a go, see what it's like. But yeah, we recorded a bit of footage for the vlog in there. If you want to check it out, you can if you haven't watched it. All I can say is, guys, that the food, number 1, was minute in portion. Number 2, it was horrible. It actually tasted horrible. Number 3, it was over expensive. And number 4, the staff was the service was just atrocious. The guy who served us just didn't really seem like he really cared. His attitude stunk. Every time I asked him for something, he was trying to get me to change my mind. It was like, no, this is what I want. Lewis ordered, they had a kids meal on the menu for £7.95, which got Lewis a little small starter, which was like, they call it dough balls, but to be quite honest with you, it looked like flipping Maltesers. That's how small they were. He also had a small pizza, which Lewis didn't like, and his dessert, which he chose to be a chocolate brownie, which was seriously so tiny. It was like a child portion, like a baby. You could feel an actual physical small baby, a newborn baby. It's so small. I ordered a pizza, which was just horrible. It wasn't even cut. It was just like it was slapped down in front of me. I asked the guy for a pizza cutter. Never brought me one down. I ordered some fries or chips, we call it, for $4.95. Guys, I counted it on the plate. There was 8 chips on the plate, and it was supposed to have cheese on them. Honestly, it looks like something that was found in the bottom of a bin or a trash can, as my American viewers like to watch here. our listeners. The food was absolutely horrendous. We couldn't wait to get out of it. When we finally get outside, we give our view on it on the vlog outside. But on the way to, after getting something to eat on the way to the ferry terminal in Birkenhead, even when we get on the little underground train, Lewis was saying, Dad, I don't feel really great, to be quite honest with you. And I'm like, Lewis, you know something, son? I don't feel really great either, but we'll go over to the ferry terminal a wee bit earlier, and we'll sit down, relax. We'll probably get a bottle of water or something, and we'll sit and try and see if we feel any better. So we got to the ferry terminal at about 7 o'clock, maybe. Near 7. I do remember checking my phone at the time, and decided, okay, let's go and sit down here and we'll see how it goes. So I stuck my phone on charge, and we got checked in. Went into the security and stuff, which was said hello to, by the way. The security staff there at the Liverpool terminal are awesome as always. So funny. Always talk away to us every time they see me and every time they see Lewis. It's great the fact that they remember Lewis and they know his name and all too, which is even funnier. They're just so funny, those guys. Great staff. So they are. But anyway, I got in there and I got on the phone to my friend, talking to her about the Belfast Giants, by the way, who won the Challenge Cup, which I'll be talking about that later on too in the vlog. Or in that podcast, sorry. Vlog, keep thinking vlogging. I'm on my YouTube channel here talking. Yeah, so after I'd done a bit of recording inside the area again, you know, talking about the Giants winning the trophy and stuff like that there. But after I switched the camera off, guys, it just didn't feel right. I felt horrible. I felt so wrong. It was just horrendous. And Lewis, again, was starting to complain. He was getting stomach cramps. He went to the bathroom. He came out and said, Dad, I feel so sick. And I'm like, right, okay, well, what we'll do is we'll get on to the ferry, we'll go to bed, and we'll see how I feel. So, we get on to the ferry. We got ourselves Stena Plus. What Stena Plus means, that's a wee private area you can go into, VIP, unlimited food and drinks and stuff. So I thought, okay, I'll go on here, I'll get a cup of tea, I'll you know, chill out for a wee bit, relax on one of the big comfy sofas, have a lie down, then I'll take myself to bed for the night and go to sleep. And the boat leaves Liverpool at 10:30. To go back to Belfast, and all I can say is before the boat even we were on the ferry for about 9. Now they always give it like an hour and a half for people to get everybody on, all the cars and the lorries and stuff like that, and all the people and the passengers and stuff like that there, which is normal. Before the ferry even took off, guys, I just felt like my stomach was about to be ripped out and just thrown on the floor. Lewis was the same, and guys, I said, there's a guy from the Stena Plus staff who I've got to know quite well. I said to him, would Lewis be okay sitting here? It's a private area, so it's all closed in. You know, Lewis is on his own, and he's sitting there, and the guy's like, yeah, he's in front of the TV there, he's watching there, he's no problem at all, cool, go ahead and go to the bathroom. And I went to the bathroom, guys. I got literally, I knew I had a choice to take it to the disabled toilet or the normal cubicle, and I thought disabled toilet because it's bigger and it was closer. And as soon as I got into that bathroom, I don't know if anybody's ever seen The Exorcist or anything like that. It was like something out of The Exorcist. How much sick I know it's a horrible thing to talk about, but I was consistently throwing up, and it was horrible. I mean, I felt like my stomach was about to explode. I felt so ill, it was unreal, and I was throwing up everywhere, and I felt so sorry, so bad, and so I felt horrible because when I threw up that much, it actually went on the floor too, and I had to go and get the staff, and the staff cleaned it up, and I apologised so many times to the girl who cleaned it up, and you know, she gave me a big hug and all, and she was like, I hope you're okay. And it was like, here's the thing, guys, I don't know if you've ever been on a ferry before, but as you come out of those toilets and you turn right, you're walking up towards the ferry, the area where the restaurant was. As I got to the middle of the boat towards the restaurant, I saw 2 or 3 people standing around like a circle. And when I got there, it was Lewis on the floor, physically throwing up again. It's worse than me. He was throwing up as well, so bad, so much. It was I literally threw myself onto the ground and grabbed him and see if he was okay, and it was just an absolute disaster, guys. And in between the period of say 20 past to 9:30 till like 11:30 at night, 12 o'clock, we were at the bathroom at least 6 or 7 times each, throwing up constantly. And the crossing itself on the boat wasn't helping either because it was a windy night. But at that, I don't get seasick. Neither's Lewis. We don't get seasick. But all night, guys, just throwing up, and we literally got about 2 to 3 hours sleep, if that. Just felt horrendous, horrible, just so sick, and we just couldn't hack it no more. So when we finally get off the boat, we got home and literally came in the door, threw our bags down and went straight to bed. And we slept till the next day because Brooke was staying with mum and dad. She went to school from mum and dad, so we literally stayed in bed until Brooke came home from school. Rang the doctor the next day, spoke to him, went over and seen the doctor briefly, and they confirmed that it was food poisoning. And to go back to home, go back to bed and sleep the rest of the day, and go to bed early and sleep the rest of the night. So yeah, we picked up some food poisoning. Now I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, but at the end of the day, the only thing we ate that day was Pizza Hut or Pizza Express. So not happy with the service, guys. It literally made us, I honestly have never been sick so much in my life. And I've had some bad bugs in my time even when I was a kid. But Lewis and I were absolutely drained after that. I mean, fully on exhausted. We couldn't even, it was just horrendous. Even coming home on the train from Belfast to where we live here in Bangor, it was just horrendous. Just so sick. Even the conductor we knew from the train, he's like, "You okay, guys? What's up? You alright, Matthew?" I was like, "No, just want to go home. Go to bed." And that's why if you watch the vlog, you didn't see me actually in the vlog till the next night, because I didn't even have the strength to pick up the camera, guys. I just felt horrible. So it did, but yeah, but that's to say that wasn't a nice way to end the trip. But in saying that, guys, well, this is now being recorded here on Thursday morning. Next Friday evening, the 22nd of March, Brooke, Lewis and I are heading back to Liverpool for the Legends game where Liverpool's taking on AC Milan at Anfield on the Saturday. So we're going to be heading to that. We're looking forward to going over there. Brooke just wants to go over for the pure fact that she wants to go to the 5-floor high Primark store. When you say that there, it's 2 floors down, 3 floors up. She just loves the place. She's unbelievable. She wants to go for that, and obviously we're going for the Legends game. We're spending the night there. We're coming back home on Sunday morning, so it's going to be another trip. More vlogs from Liverpool, guys. So at the time, Brooke and Lewis are both going, so we're looking forward to that. But on another thing in relation to the trip back to, well, I was talking about Liverpool, was on the way home, guys, on Sunday night. This is another thing I want to talk about on the podcast, and I briefly want to talk about this. So if I do swear in bad temper, please forgive me. For my younger listeners, put on some of your plugs or flick through the video here on the next part of it. But anyway, sitting on my on my phone on the boat on Sunday night, obviously not feeling well, being sick. I get an email from Google stating that someone had tried to access my email through my Instagram account. Will try to access my Instagram account. So I try to go into it, try and sign in, try and get into it. Bottom line is, guys, some little scumbag out there thought he was funny by hacking into my Instagram account. Now I'm going to tell you the story. I posted a video about this on my channel, but there's more I want to tell you listeners about it, because I like to be honest with you guys out there, the people who follow our channel. And I hope that scumbag is listening right now, because he may be laughing, but he ain't laughing no more for much longer, believe me. But anyway, this person hacked into my Instagram account, started posting photographs and videos of things that I posted on an old app years ago, about 5 years ago, called Tout, which was an app which was very popular in the United States a lot of years ago. I posted up some fun videos with me and my brother, and me and an ex-girlfriend, and me and my kids and stuff like that. And it doesn't exist anymore, but this guy seemed to think he found these videos from somewhere anyway, and he started posting them on my Instagram page. Now I've seen a lot of you guys out there were telling this guy off and standing up for our family, which I just take the record here now and say to you is thank you so much for really doing that for us, because I really appreciate it. And a lot of you guys have been contacting me by the email, which you can contact here on the podcast, or for any questions or anything like that, or contact me directly, which is Matthew Moore YouTube at mail.uk. Your support's been fantastic about that. But the fact that this scumbag, that's a very nice word to use for this person. I'm very find it very difficult. Sorry to maintain my composure here, but I'm talking to you on the podcast. He decided to send messages to people, which I have screenshots of, asking females for provocative pictures, mailing other people, but also the fact that he was mailing his friends, which I have their details of as well, and screenshots. And he posted all this stuff thinking he was funny. So guys, if you're listening to this podcast, and if you want to go into my old if you do follow my old Instagram page, he has changed the name of it, by the way. You can find it on your followers list, and please block it and report the account. I do appreciate it. But here's the thing. Okay, hack my account. He thinks he's a funny little boy, and he thinks he's a big boy, and he thinks, oh, Matthew Moore won't do nothing. Well, guys, I'm making this public right here, right now, on my podcast. I'm telling you right now, if you're listening to me, and I hope you are listening to me, and I hope you're sitting there laughing, you know something. And here's the thing, guys, I set up a new Instagram. So I've got a new Instagram page. It's up there. A lot of you guys are coming across to the new one, and they've been sending me messages and stuff, and I appreciate it. But the fact that he has his own account, and he posted a photograph with promoting his own account on Instagram, but he decides to send me a private mail on Sunday or Monday night, telling me that he was so sorry for hacking into my account, and that he wanted to give me my account back, and he says that he wanted a reference number of the police report so he could contact the police, and he could ring the police and say that he was sorry and it was just a joke and blah blah blah. And then he turned it nasty by saying, oh yeah, by the way, asshole, excuse my language, you can't, police won't do nothing to me. Nobody will do anything to me over one Instagram account. And the fact is that I have a VPN, which is a private network, which basically means he thinks that we can't trace who he is. And he decided to post my passwords to me, saying, I know what your password is, blah blah blah, basically trying to be a funny little bastard. That's what he thought he was being. And then what he done was, as well, he tried to start deleting some of the messages that he sent to me, and his last message to me was, I hope you screenshot it. Well, all I can say to you is now, I'm giving you now an update on this. Police reports have been filed. People have been spoken to. And if you're listening to me now, you little scumbag, I know I keep using the word scumbag, but at the end of the day, I'm just trying to be nice here about this. And I want to, if I was being the way I truly feel on the podcast, I'd probably get kicked off this channel. So, all I can say to you is that you will be found, you will be charged, you will be prosecuted, and I don't give a damn how many VPNs you have to protect your internet address or whatever. At the end of the day, there's facilities out there that can still trace your ass. So, to give you guys an update, I have a new Instagram account, and also, this scumbag there's an investigation going on, and if you're listening and you can say to yourself, oh, but it's just one Instagram account, and he's not really doing nothing, he's just saying this to get views on the channel, and he's just saying this because he doesn't know nothing, and he doesn't know what he's doing. All I can say to you is, you fit into the category of the time a year or so ago back, where we had to deal with a few little trolls who took it upon themselves to try and physically and mentally bully my daughter and us as a family. Well, all I can say to you is, people said I didn't do nothing about that. Go and ask the 4 individuals who were taken to court and prosecuted. The 4 individuals who bullied and picked on my daughter because they thought they could physically assault my daughter and physically bully my daughter. Go and ask other people who we've had to deal with in the past. Guys, the bottom line is, I understand when you're on YouTube or you're on social media that you will receive negativity no matter where you go. The way I look at it is, social media is a good thing, but also in a way it's a bad thing. But people don't seem to understand that there is laws out there in place for social media. So there is. I have heard cases before, and I've been involved in cases before, where if you push the button too far and you go over the top, there's certain laws in this world that you can break, and you can be held accountable for it, and you can be taken to court, and you can be prosecuted for it. So at the end of the day, and one major one is hacking. If you hack into someone's account or their emails or anything else to do, even their mobile phones or anything like that there, you are breaking the law. And you will be charged with it, and you will be prosecuted irregardless how old you are. So even if this little scumbag is like, say, 17 years of age, for example, oh, they can't touch me because I'm only 17. Wrong. You have broke the law. Police report. All I can say is, guys, for the people who've been asking me for updates, the update pretty much is that it's in the hands of the police. There is an investigation going on, and it's also in the hands of my legal team and also in the hands of Instagram, because Instagram will not tolerate any hacking whatsoever. And the person I've been speaking to from Instagram has been more than helpful and has been fantastically well-rounded person who I've spoken to directly. And this little person says to me, "Oh, there's no direct phone numbers for Instagram." Well, let me tell you something. There is no personal direct number to Instagram, but they can contact you by email and they can call you too as well, especially if police are involved. So, in closing, in relation to this matter I'm talking about here on the podcast, guys, it is being dealt with. It is being sorted. If you please if you do follow that page, unfollow it, block it, get rid of it, do whatever you can, guys, because at the end of the day, this boy or girl, whoever it is, think they're funny and they will be dealt with. So anyway, enough said about that. Moving on. Before I actually do move on, thank you once again for all your support towards this matter, because at the end of the day, a lot of you guys have been pouring in with your emails and stuff and saying, this guy's got no life and blah 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 and we don't deserve this and stuff. I've said this 1,000 times before on the vlogs, guys. We are not out here to make any type of enemies or make fun of people or whatever. We're out there to have fun, make vlogs, have a good time. We're a family. There's 3 of us here who want to make videos for fun. The reason why we do it as well, because we want to meet new people. Oh, that's all we want to do, is we want to meet new people. For example, I'm talking to this couple at the minute, and they're going to the Liverpool Legends game. And I was talking to the female of it, and I'm not going to give their names on the podcast here, and I was speaking to the male too. And I hope that we run into them over there, and we meet them, and they're from here in Northern Ireland, and I'm looking forward to meeting them and talking to them and getting to meet them and get to know more about them. They've actually just had a little baby there about a year or so ago, maybe not even a year, and they seem like lovely people. And I've met loads of people through the ice hockey we go to, the Liverpool games. People come to us in Liverpool itself and say hello to us and stuff at the games. Guys, at the end of the day, we're not out here to hate anybody. We're not fake. What you see is what you get. And if you don't like what we are, I've told you 1,000 times, just switch the channel over and just move on. Don't waste your time. Don't sit behind a keyboard. There's more things in life to do out there than sitting behind a keyboard torturing people. Get up and do something with your life. Make your life to be something. You know what I mean? Just don't sit there and think, I'm going to go on today and I'm going to troll Matthew. I'm going to go on to his Instagram and call him this and call him that. And, at the end of the day, you're just sad. And I don't even know why I'm addressing you in the matter. Guys, life's too short. Get up and live your life. You know what I mean? People ask me all the time, why are you always out with your kids and why are you always travelling and blah, blah? Because life is too short. So it is. Life is far too short. See, in this last 3 or 4 years, guys, I've lost friends too soon in life. And I've been through a lot in the last 5 or 6 years. Hell, I've been through a divorce, which broke me in half. I've been through another relationship, which literally hurt me too as well. I have been through court cases. I've been through trolls. I have been through financial issues. I have been through so much over the last 5 or 6 years, guys. Stuff that I don't even address on the vlog. Life is too short. Enjoy your life. Get out there and enjoy it, and don't worry about what other people are doing. Worry about what you're doing. Get yourself out of bed during the day or in the morning time and say to yourself, what am I going to do today with myself? Don't get up and go, I'm going to go on Instagram and troll this person, or I'm going to go on Facebook and troll it. Guys, seriously, don't be a jackass. Get up and enjoy your life. Really? Life is too short. Life is for living, not for being a tool or a jackass. So, there you go. But anyway, moving away, I want to tell you an RV story, guys, this week, before I talk about anything else here on the podcast. I was on my way to Belfast there on Monday last week. Not Monday past, Monday before. And I was on the train. I was actually going to Belfast to... Well, I can't remember. I was going to Belfast for. I can't even remember. Anyways, I was going to Belfast, and I put it out on Twitter actually as well, on Facebook. This little story. I was on the train, and I was sitting at one of the tables. And this older woman, I would say she's probably in her mid to late 60s, come up and sat down. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this is because it's all to do with, technology nowadays. So sitting there, and this woman comes up. Hello there. And it's like, oh, hello, how are you? How you doing? Nice to meet you, And she was like, oh, how you doing? And she pulled out of her bag, which I haven't seen for a long time, a portable CD player. And for you younger listeners out there who have phones or MP3 players or whatever, or iPods, or this is before all this here came out. This was like you had to carry a CD player around in your pocket, and it was awesome. I was like, I haven't seen one. I actually turned around and said, "My goodness, I haven't seen one of those for a long time." And she was like, "Yeah." She says, "I still love it. I love listening to all my classical music and stuff." And I said, "Would you ever consider getting, like an iPod or, a smartphone you could put music onto it or whatever?" And she was like, "No." She says, "This phone here. Look at this phone. This phone here I've had for years. What if you pull it out of her pocket? An original Nokia 3310. Now I have really re-released this phone recently." But this one was just phenomenal. Nokia 3310. I haven't seen those phones in years. Now, do you see now and again? You see one popping up in the window of like a CEX store or, online or something like that there. But she's like, asked me, "How long have you had that phone?" "Since the day it came out," she says. "This phone cost me £150. I mean, holy crap! I mean, goddamn woman! I mean, seriously, the phone was immaculate. I mean, it was immaculate condition. I said to her, "Would you ever consider upgrading to a smartphone?" And she went, "Wouldn't trust today's technology with all those, hackers and all these different things." And start talking about the time the phone hacking scandal in relation to news reporters and stuff like that, and the News of the World papers and all that there stuff years ago. She says, "I wouldn't have all that." She says, "I've got a phone. As long as it sends a text message and answers a phone call," she says, "I'm happy enough with all that." And you know something? I respect the woman for that. So I respect the woman. At the end of the day, there's a lot of people out there who still don't trust today's technology. For all you young ones out there listening, at the end of the day, there's people out there who don't want to go that generation. A lot of the younger ones out there now are all for smartphones and all this here, SoundCloud and Spotify and all this here, all online stuff. She's still down with the basics. I thought that was a pretty cool thing for her, and she was a really nice woman. Never managed to catch her name, but she was so pleasant, and I was talking about her for about 10-15 minutes. And she says, "What type of phone do you have?" And I showed her my S8 Plus, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, look at all that." I wouldn't have a clue about all that. And I says, "Well, have you any grandkids or any, sons or daughters?" She says, yeah, they've always said to me, my son was going to buy me an iPhone for Christmas, and I told him not to bother. I would end up putting it in the kitchen drawer. But honestly, guys, the older generation, I mean, it's just like everything where you go now, it's all on the go. Smartphones, iPads, all this here, And I always explain to Brooke and Lewis all the time, it's like, you couldn't live without the internet. It's like, could you live your life for like a week without YouTube or without SoundCloud or your smart devices or anything? No, Dad. I remember the days when there was no internet, where you had to go out and make your own fun. Last Christmas, for example, it was like we're sitting here and I got the kids stuff for Christmas that was outdoor stuff. And I looked outside. I remember Christmas Day, you used to look out the window and you see all the kids out on their bikes and playing football and things like that with their new kits on. Our street was empty this year, and I said to my kids, "Don't even bother sitting in. Get outside now. I got you 2 rollerblades for Christmas. Way out and play with rollerblades." The point I'm making about this conversation is, technology nowadays is moving so fast, it's overtaking kids. For example, in our house at the minute, certain games have been barred from our house. For example, Fortnite. Yeah, Fortnite's barred. I want to talk about that on the podcast eventually down the line one day. Fortnite is banned from this house because it was starting to overtake Lewis's life, and Lewis was starting to get a little bit too addicted to it, so I took it away. Will I ever let Lewis play Fortnite again? Probably not, because I've had a lot of bad reports about it. I've seen a lot of bad things on TV about it too. But what I'm saying is, guys, technology nowadays is just moving so quick, and I look at that woman I met in the train, and it's kind of like, she's pretty damn it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just some of the things you have, all your smart things and all, but it's the basics in life that you need to get through your life. Like, as long as you can send a text message to someone and say hello, or you can give a call to someone, or you can listen to your music, whether it be by a CD player or whatever, at the end of the day, as long as she's still doing it. And I respect that lady for it, and she was really cool for it, so fair play to her. And she was such a nice lady, and I love to have called her name. Maybe I'll see her on the train one day again soon, and if I do, I'd love to run into her again and have a chat with her again, and hopefully she is doing well, and it was really nice running into her. But no, it was really, really cool seeing that, and yeah, not very often you still see those old gadgets knocking about now and again. Yeah. What are you going to talk about that? I put up in the vlog 2 days ago. My daughter is obsessed with this whole thing going on about Brexit. Yeah. Now, I'm not really into politics. I watch politics on television now and again. I've got friends I went to school with who are involved in local politics here in North Down in Northern Ireland. I've also got a guy I used to work with who's now running in politics as well. I'm not overly a big fan. I don't vote, so I don't. And people are asking why don't you vote? Because I'm not really a big interested in politics. I know a bit about politics, but don't really get interested in it, to be quite honest with you. But I was quite surprised the other day to know the fact that I found out for apparently the last lot of months that apparently my daughter is actually really obsessed with Brexit. And she's been sitting in her bedroom. Now you're gonna laugh at this. I was talking to this. It was a Brooks parent teacher meetings the other day. I was talking to some of her teachers about it, and 13-year-old little girls and boys nowadays are all into their smartphones and they're into going out and doing things sometimes that they shouldn't be doing. For example, smoking, drinking, doing stuff underage and things like that. My daughter doesn't do that, and I don't lock my daughter away from the world or whatever. She goes out with her friends on Saturday afternoon to go to the shopping centre for some lunch and meet up with her friends and blah blah blah, and she goes out with her friends in the street and stuff, and yeah, she's got a smartphone and she's very careful with it, and she's not on social media. Well, she has a Facebook page, but she don't really go onto it because I monitor it, and it's only really our family on it, really. But yeah, no, the fact that my 13-year-old daughter has been sitting in her bedroom for the last lot of weeks, and I'm thinking to myself, what is she doing at night in there? Obviously, she does her homework and stuff like that, and she's talking to her friends on her phone and whatever. And I just happened to challenge her the other day. What are you doing? And she was like, don't really want to tell you, Dad, but you'll probably tell me off. I said, what am I telling you off for? Just tell me what you're doing. I'm watching Brexit. I was like, what? He's like, I'm watching stuff about Brexit. I says, since when are you interested in politics? And she was like, no, Dad, it's just one of my teachers mentioned it months and months ago, and we started talking about it, and then, and start getting into all this ins and outs about Theresa May and all the different people at Parliament and the Queen and all the stuff here, and it's kind of like, okay, right. And then 2 nights ago, I put a vlog up and called Brooks Obsessed with Brexit. She literally came in the door from school at the time of her teacher meetings with me, and she sat down for like 3 or 4 hours. They were doing a whole thing about doing a vote the other night too as well. And she was actually sitting telling me what was going on, and this person's doing this wrong, and this person's doing that wrong, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, what? You're doing what? Pardon? My daughter is obsessed with this whole Brexit thing at the minute, and it's a bit strange because even when I spoke to their teachers about it, they looked at me and went, "What?" Now here's the thing about Brooke: she's not your average 13-year-old wee girl, or girl, should I say? She's not wee anymore; she's big. She's near as big as me. She needs to stop growing because it makes me feel even more older. But no, on a Saturday night, for example, if she's at home, most 13, 14-year-olds are out Saturday night, underage drinking and smoking cigarettes and going to house parties and doing different things they got there. But not my Brooke. Now, there's a lot of kids there do the same thing as Brooke, don't get me wrong. Not all kids are like that, but you do obviously hear, because even when I was at school, there was a lot of kids like that too. Brooke's no interest. Brooke wants to read her books, and she wants to watch movies, and she goes to some of her friends' house sometimes to hang out and go for sleepovers. She comes to the ice hockey with us sometimes. She goes to her nanny and granda's, and stuff like that. But Brooke is into her history, and she's into learning stuff. For example, guys, I'm trying to organise a trip for us here to go and spend the New Year in London this year, because I promised the kids that I would take them to London sometime for New Year, where they'd see the big fireworks display and the whole big celebration for New Year and stuff. And I'm trying to get it organised for this year, because it's going to be 2020, which is a pretty big year. So I said to them, we'll go to London. And I says, okay, well, where do you want to go, guys? Do you want to go this place? Do you want to go to this park? Brooke's like, nope. I want to go to Parliament. I want to go to Buckingham Palace. I want to go to this. The first thing on her list, though, was her favourite singer, and my favourite singer, Freddie Mercury. She wants to go and see his house in London. I'm like, okay, cool, we'll do that. That's fine. But I expected her to say, like, can we go to this like theme park area, or can we go to the... No. She wants to go to all the places, all the historic places of London. And I'm like, okay, it's pretty cool. But the fact that the minute that she's glued to the TV with Brexit is just baffling. But I'm proud of her, because she's not out doing stuff that she shouldn't be doing, and she's at home and she's out with her friends and she's doing things that she should be doing at that age. And it's great to see. And I'm proud of her. And, she's going back to what I said about her teacher meetings. I went to her teacher meetings the other day, and their teachers couldn't say any more about her. She was so happy, and she's a great child, and she's still, always have a smile on her face. She's so good. Her grades are growing, and she's doing really, really well, and everything's just awesome. So at the minute, I'm quite proud of her. I know me and her have our moments at the minute where we butt heads and stuff because she's at teenage years, and obviously with the whole changing of hormones and things like that there, and she's getting older and things like that there, and she doesn't want to be up around her daddy all the time now because obviously she wants to do her own thing. But at the end of the day, it's to be expected when you have kids. But she is an absolute pleasure to have as a child, even from a baby. I'll tell you a story about Brooke when she was a baby. Brooke was a doddle to look after. From the time she came home from hospital till now, she's been a doddle. She's had a few wee hiccups over the years, all kids do, but most of the time, Brooke is a good child. There's no issues out of her whatsoever. So she's not. Now she's at that age now where she's 13 and she's got the wee bit of a swag in her step, and she's 13 and, you know, yeah, I'm a big girl now, blah, blah, blah. You know, all kids are like that at that age. I was like that too at 13, you know. But I think she gets it from me because when I was 13, you know, I wasn't out doing all that stuff that most teenagers get up to nowadays. You know, I was sitting in my room reading books and I doing different things. You may say, Matthew, you're an outdoor. Yes, I did go out and play football with my friends. I hung out in the streets with my friends and stuff like that, but I didn't do stuff that I wasn't allowed to because back in my day, you were scared. If you saw a policeman coming, you ran a mile, or if someone came out of their house and screamed at you and shouted at you, you ran away. Or even if you kicked the ball in the garden, you were scared because number one, you mightn't have got it back, or number two, you would have got a boot in the backside. So, but yeah, I'm proud of her. I'm proud of Brooke. I'm so proud of her, and if she's listening to the podcast here, Brooke, if you're listening, I love you, darling, and I'm proud of you. But again, of all things, Brexit, why? But I mean, I'm not all clued in about this whole Brexit thing. People are going to ask me, what do you think of it? Should we leave? Should we not leave? I don't think we should leave, honestly, but again, that's just the government in the United Kingdom for you. But yeah, Brooke being addicted to Brexit is just baffling. It really is. It's baffling for me. I just can't believe it. But yeah, again, so proud of her, and I couldn't ask for any more of her. So there you go. But anyway, yes, let's go back and talk about our team of Liverpool last night. That vlog we put up last night of Lewis and I. Oh my goodness me. I was so tired after that last night, guys. It was just unreal. We had a great time, so we did. Unbelievable. Lewis is just bouncing this morning, so he is. But what about the weather here in Northern Ireland and across the UK? Well, the last few days as well, we had that storm, and I saw a few places across where I live here in Northern Ireland wrecked with the bad winds, and I've seen a few places in England being hit pretty bad too as well. So I hope everybody out there is okay and not too much damage was caused to anybody's property or anything like that there. Just the weather's been a bit atrocious over the last few days, so it's just been absolute madness, so it has. But I mean, even in Liverpool, you probably saw in the vlog yourself, or if you've watched the vlog, guys, we had like sleet and snow and big massive hailstones, and it was just absolutely crazy. But anyway, yes, this week we have got a pretty busy week. It's now Thursday. The Belfast Giants, yes guys, we're away to the Belfast Giants tomorrow night, Friday. They won the Challenge Cup last Sunday. Tried to watch it, but my phone died and I couldn't get a chance to watch it, but I've seen the highlights, and I think I've talked about it on the podcast, the vlog before. The plan was last year's final against Cardiff was faced off at 7 o'clock in Cardiff. The plan this year is to get to the final. The game that Lewis and I attended last Sunday was supposed to be a Saturday game against Burnley, but it was changed to Sunday. It was a 12 noon kickoff, which means we were out of the ground for about 10 to 2 o'clock-ish. There was a train at 3 o'clock from Lime Street to Cardiff. We were hoping for the final to be taking place at 7, which means Lewis and I could have went from Liverpool straight to Cardiff for the final, but it wasn't the case. But the bottom line is the Giants won the Challenge Cup, and we're really, really happy about it. They beat Guildford in overtime. Now, my friend who watches my vlogs, who's the kit man for Guildford, Luke, if you're listening, sorry, buddy. so sorry. But yeah, we won, and it was great. I did say in the vlog that it was Darcy Murphy who scored the winning goal, but actually it wasn't. It was a new player who was signed. Suleiman, he scored the winning goal. So apologies if I said the wrong name in the vlog, because I thought I heard and seen somebody tweeting it was Murphy, and I just got it in my head and didn't really pay attention, just seen the goal and started celebrating. But anyway, yes, we won the Challenge Cup. Tomorrow night, Lewis and I are going to the hockey tomorrow night with Brooke, and we're going to have to get photographs with the trophy tomorrow night, so that will be in the vlog tomorrow. So it will be, we're going to have to see the trophy again and get more photographs with the trophy and celebrate with the Giants. And also on Saturday this week, Lewis and I are off to Fermanagh. That's right. Have you ever heard of Fermanagh? If you haven't, search it up. It's way out in the middle of the countryside. It literally takes about 2 hours to get there. We're going to watch the Welders play this weekend against Ballinamallard United. Now, you all know that I travel with and follow the Welders and watch their games and stuff like that every weekend when we get a chance to go. They unfortunately broke the news the other day that they had released their manager, Norman Kelly. So I just want to say all the best to Norman, because Norman was a great guy to work alongside and obviously talk with, and such a nice guy on and off the field. He's a great guy, and I wish him all the best for the future. He was released there the other day, and they brought their under-20s manager to be the manager. But this Saturday they're away to Ballinamallard in Fermanagh. Now, we did travel down last year on the bus to watch the game. You probably saw it in the vlog. Lewis and I went down, and we stopped off at a little place called, before we went to the what do you call it, the game. The bus stopped off at a place called the Tipsy Cow. You're probably laughing at yourself. Tipsy Cow. I know, Tipsy Cow. The food was amazing, absolutely amazing, and we're going back there this Saturday. Now, we were supposed to go to the Giants game on Saturday night, but unfortunately we can't make it because we're going to watch the Welders play on Saturday. We can't be in two places at once. So we've had to sell our tickets on for Saturday night's game. But yeah, we're going to Fermanagh on Saturday. So I'll vlog all the way from Fermanagh on Saturday. So it's going to be another good vlog on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we were planning maybe doing something on Sunday. Brick and Lewis were maybe talking about going up to Kiltrawl. They want to go back to the Ulster Folk and Transport Museum, weather dependent. But I said to them, guys, wait till the summertime because it's a little bit cool still at the minute. So, but we've got some good vlogs coming up this week, guys. We've got some good stuff coming up this weekend. And then next week we're off to Liverpool again. So it's going to be a busy few weeks. Or a busy week or two coming up, so it is. So yeah, we're preparing ourselves for our holiday next year. I'm trying to add more days onto our holiday to go to different places. At the minute, we're going to Blackpool for 5 days. I'm trying to add in, because the kids want to go back to the same places we went back to last year. The likes of Southport, they want to do Manchester as well, all different places. They want to go to a couple of places in Lancaster as well. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's going to be a busy next week or so. So stay tuned to the vlogs, guys. If you're watching on the channel here, please don't forget to hit subscribe below to watch the vlogs and hit the like button and also the post notification bell. But that is going to bring us to the end of this podcast. I've been talking on for nearly an hour here, guys. It's sort of shot from the hip, give myself some bullet points and just shot from the hip. But before I do go, I'm going to read out a couple of your emails. I know I did say it was going to be the end here, but I'm going to read out a couple of your emails here. I'm going to pull my phone across here and give a wee shout out to a couple of you guys before I go. I know I should have opened the email before I come on to record the podcast, but again, I've just been so flat out in this last couple of days and I just haven't really been sort of focusing on a couple of things. So, we'll see now. Got a few of you here on Facebook I want to respond to. Obviously, my new Instagram has not very many messages in it because obviously I've lost my other account. So, where are we here? Messages. Here we go. I want to give a wee shout out to Michael Lawrence, who listens to us. He gives me a message now and again on the page. Got a message here yesterday from Gareth. It's a Dandaher, Danaher. Says, hi Matthew, just wondering what brand the red jumper or hoodie you wearing sometimes in the vlogs, and also with the Indian tribal man on it. Also Lewis has it on his hat. Love the vlogs, by the way. Kind regards, Gareth. Gareth, that is our American hockey team we follow, the Chicago Blackhawks. Yeah, that's who we follow. That's a hoodie I got at the USA Sports Store at the SSE Arena one night when they were over for the Belfast Giants game. And that's the hat that Lewis got with his birthday money last year. He bought that hat last year. We absolutely love the Blackhawks. Even when we play NHL 19, he loves the Blackhawks. So, here we are here. I'm trying to find another one here for you. Here we go. David McKee says, hi Matthew, great videos you put up on YouTube. My little 7, I actually remember reading this and responded to him about this the other day. I thought I'd read this out. I actually remember saying to myself the other day, I'd read this out. Hi Matthew, great videos you put up on YouTube. My little 17-month-old girl enjoys watching them with me. Keep up the good work in vlogs and podcasts. You have a great family and I wish you and your family every success and happiness in your life. What a message. David McKee. Awesome. I wrote back to him saying thank you very much, etc. for him. Him and his 17-month-old daughter watches our vlogs and also listens to our podcast. So if you are listening, thank you so much for that. I do appreciate that. It really does mean a lot. So, but yeah, guys, sorry I'm only read a couple out there. As I said, yeah, I get most of my messages on Instagram. I can't get my emails up here in time. I should have bad me. I'll try and answer a couple of them in the vlog later on today when I'm recording the vlog. So, dear, the joys, I tell you. But I know that's going to bring us to the end of this podcast for this week. Brooke will be back next week with me. So she'll be talking with me next week because she wants to come on and talk about a few different things. Don't forget, you want to get in touch with me on the podcast. It's Matthew Moore, YouTube at mail.uk. You can also contact me in the links in the description for the social media links as well. And that's going to wrap up this podcast for another week. So stay tuned for the vlogs, guys, because there's going to be some nice ones come up over the next few days. So once again, thank you so much for all your support. I want to apologise once again. I did use one or two words in this podcast that I shouldn't use, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to keep myself nice and cool and calm in relation to some of the stuff that's happened this week. But thank you for all our subscribers, and also thank you for all our followers who follow us every week. I keep telling you this all the time on the vlog. You know, you don't understand how much the support means to us, guys. We just love every one of you. I'd love to meet all of you eventually one day. But yeah, it's overwhelming how much support you give us, and I do appreciate it. So guys, until next week's podcast, and obviously later on today, our vlog will be going up later up today. Until next week, guys, thank you for listening. I will see you all back here next week for another podcast. So from Matthew, see you all next week, guys.